Dzień dobry. So in this episode of Brit in Poland, I want to tell you a little bit about the journey that I've been on while making this channel. So expect me to tell you a little bit about some of the thought processes that are going on in my head, some of the influences that I've had, some of the ways I've tried to kind of improve the quality of the videos I make over time, as well as talking about my future plans. So in particular my website, blogs and that kind of thing. So if you're interested in learning a little bit about behind the scenes of making a YouTube video, please stay tuned and I hope you enjoy. Dzień dobry. Welcome to A Brit in Poland. This channel has a number of missions. The main one, to create a video for every place on this list. Though I could use your help. The help could be in a number of forms. You could like my video, you could subscribe to my channel, you could follow me on Facebook or Instagram, or you could donate to my Patronite account. Thank you very much for your time. I hope you enjoy the video. So this whole journey began for me in 2020. But let me give you a little bit of background in case you haven't seen some of my former videos to understand the motivations that kind of led to me doing this channel. So 2019 was a bit of a roller coaster ride for me. You know, I had some of the best times of my life and maybe some of the worst. So I found myself in a bit of a chaotic place where I had to rebuild my life. I was kind of broken by the more or less by the end of 2019. So I started doing a lot more exercise. I was doing a lot of watching on YouTube and reading books, trying to improve myself basically, and trying to understand where I was perhaps going wrong in certain areas of life, in particular with relationships and self-confidence and all of this fun stuff. So come the start of 2020, I decided, you know what, I'm going to try and do something different. And I was trying to think, what could I do that was a little bit unique, that was a little bit special, and also to perhaps give something back, you know, for the kind people of Poland that have helped me out in my journey. So I decided, why not try doing a YouTube channel? So initially I just jumped in completely without plan, which in retrospect was a big mistake because it kind of slowed down the growth of my channel at the beginning. But I did like an intro video just telling my story, how I got here, all this kind of thing. And I did it without notes, I just did it off the top of my head, so perhaps not the most inspired way to work on this medium. And then after that I figured out, okay, what else am I going to do videos about? So I talked about things like Brexit, I talked about Warsaw, you know, what I do here, what you could do here. And then I got feedback from friends, family, colleagues, you know, and a lot of little ideas, like suggestions for things to do, ways to make the video better, all of that kind of stuff. And I'm like, was eagerly listening because for me, getting feedback is very, very important. But I realized still that I was very amateur. You know, I only had like a mobile phone to do all of this. And at the time I didn't even have any video editing software. So I have to admit, like, the quality of those videos in the beginning I despise, which is why I'm remaking some of those earlier videos now. But in February 2020, I started this relationship with this girl, Agata. And Agata was, let's say, the best influence you can have for a channel like this. So she was a big fan of traveling, a big fan of these YouTube travel vlogs. And so she knew the subject well. And so she was suggesting, okay, so maybe you know, rather than just focusing on yourself, you can talk about Poland in general. So we started to go on some trips together, which of course with COVID starting up that year was a bit of a challenge, but we still found a way, and it gave us a reason to kind of focus more on Poland because the borders were closed and you couldn't really do anything else. So we would do some traveling. I would then, you know, start to make the videos, and then she was like, okay, so first off you need to get a proper video editing program. So I got VSDC, and with a bit of help from her and a bit of help from YouTube and various tutorials and things, I kind of figured out how to use this software. And instantly I could see a big improvement over the crappy little apps I'd used on my iPhone. So that was a start. And then she would like watch each video and she would say what she liked, what she didn't like, what I could improve, what I could perhaps do better next time. And she could be quite scolding at times, but it was a good way to learn. So then she was also talking about things like, okay, so it's not enough to just make good quality videos. You need to, you know, do all like the metadata. So when you put a video into YouTube, you have to fill in all these tags and descriptions and things like that. So that was one thing. She suggested doing like cover pictures for the videos on YouTube to make them stand out a bit more when people are searching. But you could tell it was getting on her nerves a little bit, because I would take her suggestions, but gradually. And I think she was hoping I would be taking them in much faster than I was. But at the end of the day, I did listen to everything she said, and the quality of my videos again picked up. Now that relationship of course didn't last, but I still take the learnings and the lessons from that. And another thing that she really instilled in me was a bit of a passion for travel. So admittedly this passion for travel is quite focused on Poland, mainly because I feel safer traveling here than I do abroad. And also this this channel is about Poland. So of course my focus is going to be here. But she taught me lots of little tricks for how to do things more cheaply, you know, how to travel, you know, using the trains, the buses and that kind of thing. And it was all invaluable. It really kind of developed me as a person and like really grew me, which was amazing. But yeah, so over time I would kind of try and refine what I was doing. So I was trying to think more carefully about like the camera angles I, you know, use when I'm taking videos. I was thinking about, okay, how can I edit these to be more interesting? What kind of content do I want to present? You know, so when I'm talking about a city, what do I talk about? And a lot of this actually was kind of influenced by the comments I would have from people, or friends and as well. But I always try to listen to feedback very carefully. So YouTube comments that were suggesting, oh, you should have talked about this, or you should have done that. I kind of kept those as a mental note. So the next video I did, I really focused on that. But of course you can never please everyone in this game, so you do your best. And yeah, so I would evolve, and I was thinking, okay, where am I going to go? So I started to do more solo traveling around Poland, going to cities like Poznan and Olsztyn in the beginning, and eventually taking bigger trips like I did to Western Pomerania this year. And in future I want to take more of these bigger trips and really try and capture more of the regions. But now we get through to like the present day. So some of the other areas that I'm trying to look into now are, you know, Facebook and Instagram for a start. So I'm actually learning how to use Instagram properly, make nice reels and nice videos, and take pictures in a proper format rather than that like letterbox format I was using, which was terrible. And I've linked it to Facebook, so a lot of my updates are shared between the two. And I want that to be like an extra platform for the different kind of viewer. But my latest innovation, and something that yeah, I can be quite spontaneous with some of my ideas. So I decided one day, you know what, I'm going to look into building a website. And I found this tool called Wix online that allowed me to basically easily put a page together without, you know, too much hassle, without too much stress. And so initially it was like, okay, so I can use this website as a way of organizing my videos. So I organized them by region within Poland, so voivodeship. And I thought, okay, if people are looking to travel, they can look at a certain region and they can see some of the videos I've made about that region to help them, you know what's worth seeing. And this is something, of course, that I will build up more and more over time. Of course, I'm a bit limited by the weather in Poland, so I try to visit what I can when I can. And of course, traveling is certainly not cheap. But I'm also focusing on making some more blogs. So one of the reasons perhaps that you haven't seen me talking in front of the camera like this so much this year is because I've been doing it on paper, basically, or on the computer. Because I think that it provides like an extra dimension. And what I really want to start doing is, and something I'll probably be focusing on the winter, is to build up a series of blogs about different cities in Poland. So as well as the videos, there will be like a text accompaniment. So you can easily reference and say, okay, I want to see this, I want to see that, brilliant. There are plenty of guides out there on the internet, but I want to give my own spin on these things and to really like cover cities that are not covered by English media right now. And of course, in the future, I have a lot more traveling to do. This weekend, I'm going to Tychy, where you'll find the Tyski brewery, and there's going to be this incredible Beksinski exhibition that I'm very much looking forward to. And I still want to do more traveling this year, even though we're starting to run out of summer, but there's more to see. But I would love to have your feedback. So when you're watching my videos, please do feel free to comment. If there's something you didn't like, I can take it. If there's something you'd like to see more of, let me know. Or if you simply liked something, let me know as well, because again, any feedback is good feedback for me, as long as it's not like incessant trolling. But I hope you found this video interesting, and I hope you've got a little bit of insight into the kind of thinking behind my channel and where I want to go with things. So thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe if you are interested in seeing more and learning more about Poland. Do zobaczenia.